The end of an era. Overwatch came into my life when my online romance started, and it was there for me when it ended. He was obsessed with Overwatch. Due to the time difference, I'd be at work and check my phone to see him in-game and playing. For my whole shift. I didn't get it. I'd been a gamer from a while back but weaned off. This one brought me back. I'd log in from work and see him in a game with other people for hours and I didn't understand it, but when he'd moved on to another game and Blizzard had a sale, I bought Overwatch. When you start play they give you a choice of heroes and I chose the one that mostly resembled my style and looked cool. Widow. If you know anything about Overwatch, you are cringing right now. She is a high-skilled hero and your ass better be good at her, or people get fucking mad. It was my first game of Overwatch ever and it had been a long time since playing anything that required aim or a good enough internet connection that it didn't lag and make skill and effort obsolete. Oops. I was bad at the game. Having come from years of barely playing anything, and some point-and-click choose-your-own ending types, I found the action in FPS, but when I broke my rib in BJJ, and I had to sit still for a while, the tables turned. I chose a hero that I wanted to focus on and it was one where you could press the attack button and her weapon would find the nearest target. It suited me fine with the bad internet connection and the PC that needed serious upgrading. Then I got slightly obsessed. I wanted to be good at it. It wasn't totally about the game because let's face it, yes it has a good storyline, but it's probably geared towards a younger demographic. The heroes range from a sexy French assassin to a fat pigman hybrid from New Zealand, and the art is somewhat cartoonish. I started as DPS, damage per second / offensive role, but as I settled into the game, I gravitated towards a support role, e.g., healing and occasionally yeeting people. The support character I chose was Moira. If Moira was a real person, we wouldn't be friends. She's kinda evil, rude, and a geneticist who insults other characters with auto dialogue you can't stop her saying. She can suck energy from people with one hand and heal with the other, and these are called biotic grasp, to damage and suck power, and biotic orbs. To be a good Moira player I think you need to be aware of your cooldowns, how long it takes to build your abilities up again after exertion, because if you run out, you may find yourself with no way to escape a dangerous situation. Support means both healing and helping to damage if possible / warranted. Moira players have a reputation for using damage more than helping teammates. You always get accused of not doing your job if the team starts losing. Just heal and let your command card speak for itself at the end. Go towards the danger sometimes because newbies never expect it. Egg if you get hooked, you can go through Roadhog, not backwards. Then you swing around and plant a nice big, deadly purple damage orb right up his ass. Always be aware of your team, where are they? Make sure your healing ball ends up where the majority of your team will be in another 2 seconds. Pay attention to the outlines of your team. If you see a teammate coming from behind a wall needing heals, send a ball up to meet them. Just because you're a healer doesn't mean you don't help the other healer. Keep them alive too, they help you. I am a Moira main and people love it. I have, maybe embarrassingly, over 1,000 hours playing her. I have a couple hundred on a DPS character and on some tanks too, but Moira is my favorite. I know her timing, her speed, her abilities, and how they can tilt the game. Toots my own horn, yes. I've seen the game change if I come into a team halfway through and we get the win. I even got to the point where other players would recognize my name and tell me they were ecstatic I was on their team or tell me I was the best Moira they'd ever seen. They may be 12-year-olds behind the screen or 40-year-old dudes. I didn't find out a lot of the time, sometimes I did. I've made female and male friends. I have close friends of varied ages because of Overwatch and gaming in general. It keeps me being cool. LOL, I sometimes get a heads up on the latest Zoomer lingo and trends so I can know just how to shit all over it when the majority gets to know them. We decided to play until the end last night. Everyone online was asking the other team to let them get kills or achievements they hadn't yet, and a lot of people including my team were leaving matches in order to roll the dice and get put into one of our favorite maps / levels. It was chaos. But I do credit the game for being something that saved me in some of my darkest weeks and loneliest times. It introduced me to something I could disappear into for a couple of hours every day and talk to people I'd never have met IRL. And it was a nice escape when I needed to release the pressure. It also kept me entertained during the biggest psyop in recent history, the Plandemic / Kuth saga. The servers shut off last night. To get everything ready for Overwatch 2 to be playable. One by one, the maps fizzled, and the game modes disappeared. Arcade modes disappeared first, the weird games were capture the flag modes etc. then the competitive mode so no one could get a rank anymore, and then finally the maps started dropping off, and then there was this screen. Goodbye, Overwatch Original. You were my first dip back into the world of gaming and helped me through some mental health issues, loneliness and sports injury. Also, something to do while I was locked in my own house due to government overreach. Sub and follow because you wore your underwear inside out today.
I've just realised that you're an author and can't even say the word duck. What the fucking hell's up with that?